are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Professional Hippies. And I apologize, that was not very inclusive. Gals, horses, penguins alike. If you're just joining us for the first time, we are the Professional Hippies. I'm your host, Colton. Sometimes I'm not capable of talking or intelligible thoughts, in which case Dylan steps in. He might be your stepson or stepfather. Who knows? We're still waiting to determine that. But this week, you are stuck
A lot of people
with
figured
us.
you forgot the meese.
Was that a coupon code?
Yeah.
Sick. Well, hey, this week we have no directive, no intention, plans, or guidance. Maybe a couple woo-woo sayings that will slip in there. So if you want to light some Palo Santo and pray for us, hey, we'd appreciate it. Dylan, Easter's coming up. I just thought I'd put that on your radar. And from there, how you been, buddy?
Praise holla. Doing good.
Holla. Isn't that how you bless that flatbread? Is that praise holla?
Yeah. Isn't it interesting that a bread has the name of one god kind of in it?
Which one's that? Sourdough?
Allah, praise Allah, but challah bread. I think that's the Jewish one.
No, you lost me. I'm more of like a rosemary crunch kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more
sure.
I like that. Dust to dust. Get out of my church so I can go do other things today.
I feel like we had a really long laundry list of topics that we wanted to get to.
And it's gone.
It's gone.
I'll tell you some manly shit we did over the weekend. That was fun. So I got a new neighbor.
To the
right of me. Yeah. And so that house that got flooded, he's just gonna tear down that house. He bought it for the land, basically. And so my neighbor, shortly before the big flood, had built a brand new shed out of wood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really nice shed. And so he built this shed in his backyard. This new owner buys the house. I get the owner's number and I call him. I was like, hey man, I know you're going to tear down this house. What do you have any plans for that shed in the backyard? Because I went over there and looked at it the other day and I was like, there's a lot of nice lumber in this shed here, for being fairly new. Yeah, it did get hit by the flood, but like it dried out pretty well. There's no problem. So it's a lot of 2x4 and plywood.
And it's a shed. I mean, those things if you want to insulate, if you want to close off a shed, you got to be good about it. You know what I mean? Otherwise you're mold city.
But he was just like, yeah, here, he just built a nice shed and put some, my old neighbor was in the roofing company. So he had put the roofing material around it.
Yeah.
And
sheds are supposed to breathe is what I'm saying. So like they get wet, they're supposed to breathe.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. So I asked the neighbors, like, hey, you got any plans for that shed? And he goes, no, like I'm going to plan on, this place is going to be demo next 2 or 3 weeks. And once that demo starts, it ain't stopping. And I was like, well, can I have the shed or can I tear it apart, in the backyard? And he's like, yeah, I don't care what you do, man. You can have that shed for all I care. Go back there and tear it up. And he was even like, yeah, if you got shit you're trying to get rid of too, the demo people, they don't pay by the pound, they pay by the square footage. So if you got people trying to get rid of stuff, throw it in that house because they're just going to get rid of it anyways. I'm like, done deal. So I recruited James and Joey to come help me, and we just took like this unscrewing this thing, just taking this thing apart, this whole thing, and then sledgehammer it, and then being like, all right, we've got it down to like some posts. Now we don't want to die.
Right.
Trying to like pull a rope so it goes a certain direction so it doesn't kill the neighbor's fence. And then I don't know, it was just fun demolishing a thing, but we wanted to keep the 2x4s and the plywood to save, for just other stuff in the future. And it was just funny. I was like, hey, can I do this? And this dude's rich. He owns a big, huge accounting firm. And I'm just wondering in his head, is he like, thank God I'm not in the point in my life I have to do a shed to save 2x4s and plywood while I'm trying to remodel my house. And I'm like, I really use those two shed to remodel this house. This stuff's expensive, man. Yeah, it was just fun demolishing, something. We just all, going in, started at 7:30 in the morning, finished by 1 on the shed. Also sending pictures to my Realized, by the way, the whole time I'm looking over here, I haven't moved the thing over to my other monitor. Boom! Now I can
Are you
look at
having
it.
a hallucination?
I was. There we go.
Yeah. Little stroke out.
I did for a second, but yeah, it was just fun taking apart this whole shed and then sending pictures of the video in the shed to my old neighbor that built it so he could look at it being destroyed. But I did compliment him on how like that thing stood for a while with all the posts. It was pretty hard to take down for a minute.
That's always a good feeling. When you build something, you got to tear it down. You're like, fuck me. I did a really good job building this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. I complimented on it. It was at C plus at first, and we got up to an A minus. So I was like, hell yeah.
So you're gonna reuse some of that material in the house, trying to redo it? Or...
Yeah, probably some of the for me more for the 2x4s. For James, it was more for he wanted to put some plywood in the attic, so we have more room to walk up there.
Yeah,
that was you take most of the plywood. That was my first thought looking at all this lumber, anyways. And then I'll use most of the 2x4s for just fixing up things in the house.
I'll be honest. I texted my tenant the other day because after I got the floor fixed or whatever for her, there was some painting stuff, and I just totally slipped my mind. It was one of those things, not a priority. And I was like, "Hey, sorry for dropping the ball. Send me a picture of something that needs to be painted, so I can just get a painter out there. $100 fix kind of thing, handyman or whatever." But I thought we had a great relationship, and sometimes you look into the tenants thing because I want her to be so happy that she stays there for another year and a half, right? And just getting a picture response to the question I asked, I'm like, do I need to send a goodie basket? Did I mess up here?
That reminds me of our tenant. So things were going out, right? We replaced the water heater. We replaced the whole AC unit system, so the most expensive pieces, right? And so we fixed these up. He's got a whole brand new system. Everything's working for him, right? And he noticed it. Like we fixed everything up that was important for him.
Right.
So he goes, hey, the garbage disposal isn't working. And so we had to get a plumber out there. And that was weird for me. And because I was like, that's not an old garbage disposal. I looked at it. It's a fairly new one. And so I sent him out there. The plumber basically taught him how to use a garbage disposal. Like, hey, it's broken because of you. I just want you to know that. And so all of a sudden we got a text not long ago from Brian, and he was like, hey, he's complaining that the toilet flapper or whatever, something in the back isn't working. He's tried to fix it many ways, but it's not working. So he was like, all right, well, we'll get a plumber out there. And I was like, I do appreciate he tried, fix it. And I followed with Brian later. He goes, oh no, he fixed it. We were like, we just assumed probably he got a little embarrassed from the last time. He's like, I might be the problem on this.
Right. Well, that's good, because when I had the guy go out to address something with the HVAC with my tenant or whatever, as soon as he gets there, she didn't mess up at all. It was another guy that I came out to do something. He goes, hey man, I was here 5 seconds, figured it out. Like, you got to pay the service call, $50. He's like, while I'm here, I'll just go ahead and help you out. I'll teach her, about the filters and everything. I'm like, dude, godsend, right? All we want is keep our tenants happy. Just stay there. What do I got to do, right? Just tell me.
What I got to do to make you happy? I'm trying to be a good landlord. I'm not trying to paint over your shit. I'm trying to fix it. All right.
That's it, man. So all that to say, the other day, our garbage disposal goes out. I tinker it for a little bit, but I eat an edible. So I was like, this is a tomorrow problem. Tomorrow comes. I'm looking at it and I'm like, there's something here. There must be like a little breaker on it. I'm checking the outlets, see if the circuit tripped. Nothing's tripped. I'm like, this is a later problem. Later comes, I'm staring at the sink and I'm asking Abby, I'm like, have you seen a breaker panel, breaker box around here anywhere? And she's like, yeah, I think it's in the other room. Dude, I looked fucking hour, around the house. And I was like, I need to walk away from this. I don't know where this thing's hidden. She comes right down the stairs, immediately flip the breaker. But the whole time, it was so hard not to text my landlord because I really didn't want to deal with the problem. I just wanted to exercise my right not to fix something. That's just the best feeling in the world. I'm like, this is not my problem.
I used to do that when renting a lot in college. I would text the landlord like, hey, I'll fix it, but I'm letting you know I'm fixing it, and usually we were pretty good with the lights. Somehow I never had I always got my direct deposit back after throwing those major parties that I would throw. I would destroy those places, but I knew how to fix it up enough to
I've always gotten my deposits back too, because I mean,
like one time though, I got away with a major one. But if fixing it up was more than what my direct deposit was going to be, I just didn't care at that point. But like
Sure.
if I would pay for a carpet cleaner, to come, I was like, cheapest one, just come steam clean it, get rid of all the dirt and stuff out of that. And then because it looks like heavy traffic than normal. And then I remember one time I called him. I was like, hey, what's the paint color specifically for the house? And they're like, why? Why do you need that? They're like, we'll have someone come. And I go, hey, I get what you're saying. Just give me the paint color. I go, actually, just send me, you know what? Where does your mechanic park? and so they go, well, here, I'll just give it to you. So they give me the paint color that I need for the walls, I thought. And I go and get the color and I take it home. My dumb self, I should have checked before I got it home. I checked on because I bought 5 gallons. I open up, it's the baseboard color and not the wall color. And so I called the people. I was like, hey, like, I want to let you know you gave me the wrong color. This is the baseboard color. And they go talk to our mechanic guy. So I go to the mechanic.
What are you saying mechanic for?
I say mechanic, but it's the
maintenance.
Maintenance, yeah. Sorry,
okay.
The maintenance. And so I figured out where the maintenance shed is, and I just go there. Luckily, he was there, and I go, hey man, I threw parties in this apartment. I'm trying to fix it up because so you don't have to deal with the problem. I can get my deposit back. And he was like, all right. And I go, they gave me the wrong paint color. I have a whole brand new 5-gallon bucket of your baseboard. I go, can we make a trade and just give me the wall paint and I'll paint it? And he was like, dude, don't even worry about it. Like, I'm going to have to paint the wall anyways. Like when you move out of that thing, he goes, I'll just tell him it looks good and you'll get your direct deposit back. It's like,
yeah. Sick, because like, dude, when I was hanging this thing, one of the first screws I went to tap into the wall, because I don't know how heavy that thing is, maybe like 150 pounds. It's much heavier than it looks. Okay. So I had to go to Ace Hardware and I got some lag bolts. And I was like, I just want to make sure when I put it on the wall, it stays on the wall. It doesn't rip off, whatever. So long story
falls now. I just hope it falls one day during.
I really think you have other things you could hope for than that falling off the wall. I promise you that. So I go to pre-drill the stud. I don't want to, split the 2x4 or whatever. And I just immediately I'm hitting metal shavings. And I'm like, I know what's on the other side of this wall, or I think. I'm like, it's not copper, so it's not electrical line. I was like, it's not that hard. I mean, it's not going to be PVC or, like any kind of plumbing line. I'm like, what the fuck am I drilling into? So, as any responsible person would, took a step back. I tried harder again, and I go, you know what? I might be fucking something up. So, text my landlord, and I was like, hey, this is exactly where I'm drilling. Didn't tell him what I'm doing. I was just like, just want to make sure before I give it a good third try, because I mean, if there's something there that's not supposed to be there that I should know about, I'm really about to fuck it up. And he texted me back and he was like, no, everything's wood studs. I was like, maybe it's like a metal stud, because I've never dealt with a condo before with like the soundproofing that they have, like upgraded luxury soundproofing. I was like, maybe there's just something in the wall, like a metal hanger or like a plumbing strap or something. Like, I'm just not thinking of. The guy texted me back. He's like, no, dude, it's all wood. They're all in 16s except for whatever. I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, what could be metal? As luck would fucking have it, I tapped right into the middle of a drywall screw. The exact middle of a drywall screw, dude. I'm sitting there. I'm giving my metal drill bit hell too, dude. I'm like, why? I'm like, even if it is metal, this should be going through. It's because I kept going straight through the middle of the screw, just straight into the stud. So, long story short of it,
that screw's going, Jesus Christ,
I didn't sign up for this.
I just hold up the wall.
I didn't mean it. But
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. That's so funny.
yeah, I've loved Reading, man. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna buy another property that I live in.
Yeah.
I don't know. For right now, it's just so nice.
I think if you're a single person and you've got the cash on hand to do it, buying and living in it, fixing up, renting, buying, living. If you got the time and money to do that, like if you're a young engineer making pretty good money and you're just single, like for sure be doing
How
that.
for granted do we take that shit?
Right?
We don't even have kids yet, and it feels like, where's my time going?
Exactly. Like if you've got the resources to do that, you've got some cash on hand, just just start stacking up some properties, or do the condo route where you buy a condo but there's like 3 attached so it counts as one. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we found ourselves in a nice little cycle. So like right now we're like actively trying to change how we're bringing in income, and I think when you're single and young, like your brother, right? His situation with the house is perfect. Love the house. I was like, location, dude, like everything about that screams. In a couple of years, if he wanted to exit, you put a great tenant in there, upgrade, 301c exchange, perfect situation, right? I really wish I would have kept my house in Tampa. I feel like that would have been a great situation. But at the same time, there's a lot of expenses coming down the pike that I would have been had to eat, like the siding alone. You know, that house was held up by hopes and dreams.
And you sold it at the time of the market too.
For sure. You know, so can't beat myself up on that. But yeah, being young and being able to get into property, because now I'm thinking I gotta really take Abby on more day nights or something. Because if we wanted to buy a house now, get into it and start fixing it, it soaks up so much of your time. I would need so much runway of I love you and goodwill, and we're in a great place, because it just becomes all consuming.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what where date nights become, is Home Depot trips. You know, that's what Christy and I have been doing. That's little date nights going to Home Depot. You know, I've got to go get these things.
Mm-hmm.
Show her kind of where these things are at in the store.
It has to get done.
Makes it easier too. And yeah. So, and then, we do that, or we get some while we're out making that trip. And turning those into little date nights is fun.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's wild. Like the other day we looked up and I was just like, damn, we're getting old.
It's April now. What the hell? Why is it April already?
Ugh.
This makes no sense. I feel like I should take one semester of something just to slow it down a little bit. Like I feel like school slows time down for whatever reason. A little bit. Like if I'm doing something I don't want to be doing, it'll be like, let's slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. You just do a plank every morning.
So
do a 2-minute plank every morning. That will slow time down to a death crawl.
It's true. I'm running out of time. Do a plank. All right.
Because that's our focus for next month until from today to EDC Vegas. We're taking a nice cleanse, working out real hard, working really hard, getting our course up.
I wish I would have done that for Ultra. That's a good idea. Just get prepped.
Because going into it physically and mentally charged, where you're like, I just worked my ass off for this. I earned this. You get a lot of happy thoughts during your trips too.
I need your new address, by the way. I'm going to send a little fun package.
You send me a glitter bomb and see what happens.
I didn't even have
that. Fuck you up.
I've got an idea. That's a good one.
I can't even tell you how many things have been in my cart that I go, our friendship isn't strong enough for this right now. I would say we have a pretty good friendship.
I tell people too, when they're like pissed off at someone, I go glitter bomb. And they're like, what? I go, you can do an anonymous glitter bomb. And then they'll be like, no. And I go, then you're not really mad at them. You're not mad. You just think.
I know, that's a level I hate.
They go, what? And I go, you gotta, if you really hate that person, and they go, well, I don't want to do it. I go, it's the perfect situation. You're never going to talk to them again. Who cares?
I think really to get your rocks off, you got to go with like the Zodiac Killer.
Mhm.
Did you ever watch that movie?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you find people you have no attachment to. You stalk them, right? You learn who they're married to, what they do for work, what their kids are into, what kind of friends they're. You learn their fucking whole routine, and then one day you send them a glitter bomb, right? And they go, "Oh my god, who did I piss off?" No idea, right? Maybe it's 13 days later, maybe it's 27 days later. Who knows? Now you have a copy of their key. Why do you have a copy of your key? You're not a bad person. You're not stealing things from, but you're going to break in, right? And you're going to indiscriminately place a little chirping noise that goes off at random intervals of 30 minutes to 2 days to 7 hours, and it's all over the place. And it's just, beep,
Beep.
what's that? What's that? Right?
I thought about doing that to friends' houses. Just a little.
The
Just put
thing
it.
is, I feel like I might be on to like breaking a karmic chain or putting myself into like just a karma hellhole. Because if you're not attached to the person at all, it's never coming back to you, right? Unless there's like a Ring doorbell camera and
That's the mindset I've had with like. I've always just wanted to just go on Google Maps, go to a random neighborhood, and just go that house. What sending those companies where you could just send anonymous things, you know?
the gay cruise.
It just,
Thanks for joining us on the gay cruise.
just write it down, be like, and then you do it for like a month. There's just something coming every week, and then stop. And you just go find another house, but you write that house, you save that house, and you come back, and then you come back a few months later, and then just hammer it again. Like it's completely anonymous, you know. It's just some random house from Google Maps, and then you just do it for because it's who's the top because you don't, and it's easy to look up the name of the person. We have Google. I can literally use Google to prank this person entirely.
You know, that is such a fucked up thing to consider. Those are the intrusive thoughts right there. I mean, that's the definition of just
That's fun free will. Yeah.
it's just 13-year-old Colton wanting to come out and be like, I just want to be a raging asshole to someone I don't know.
At all. Don't at all. You know, you don't do it in a high enough neighborhood either, where like their mail might be getting checked or like there could be a prominent person. You don't do that. You go to like lower middle class, and like their life is already shit.
Actually, I think I found a good segue here is if we kind of tilted it towards people that really do deserve it, right?
Mm.
I mean, so I don't know how you feel about the United Healthcare CEO, whatever, but like imagine someone in that similar vein of shittiness.
The problem is they can hire people to find out.
How?
I don't know. I don't want them to find out how. You know, it's always about paying off. I'm sure that glitter bomb company gets a nice little check every now and then from a private investigator trying to find somebody.
You go to a public library. You use a cash card that you preloaded at Walmart.
Yeah.
The glitter bomb company's not going to the FBI.
Sure, but the glitter bomb company still has saved information on how you paid for it.
Yeah, a prepaid card from Walmart that you put cash. You paid cash at Walmart to put money on that prepaid debit card.
Then they go, all right, where that card got bought using this credit card number. Based off of that credit card number, it was sold at this Walgreens. Go to that Walgreens, buy tape at this time. Boom.
And that's why you hang out, around more liquor stores because you're gonna get hey mister, and you go, you know what? You're right. I will buy you that 6-pack, but I need you to do something for me, 17-year-old. You're gonna go in that Walmart. You take this cash, okay? We're gonna be in this together. Okay, you're about to go commit a felony. You don't know it yet.
You want to prank this guy in Arkansas? This is how we're going to do it.
Dude, there's so many shitty people out there that do deserve it. Genuinely deserve it.
It's so easy to do. I'm like, how's this not happened to me? You know, that's why I'm like, why isn't there just like,
I just told you, you've been a hairpin trigger away no less than a dozen times.
you don't think you have been? All the times I picked it up and I'm like, nah.
By the way, it's still in my TikTok cart, the last one that I considered. Because I was like, I haven't bought something on TikTok. And they're like, here's a coupon code for 55% off. I'm like, oh, This is only $12.
Now it's cheaper. And that was the price range. That was if
I'm like, we're at the bottom of my price range now. Okay, there's nothing holding me back.
Oh yeah, there's been stuff I've looked at. I'm like, all right.
The only thing was my wallet was upstairs. I'm gonna be totally candid with you. If my fat ass didn't have to get off that couch,
Thank God you don't have it saved like me. Like, oh, saved online. Boop, boop.
I do, and that was the frustrating part. Is you got to go out of the app, and if you haven't bought something on the app before, it's this whole rigmarole.
The frustrating part with the saving online is you still have to get the 3-digit code. And if you don't know your 3-digit code back, you're like, I still have to go get my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's online anyways. If someone's going to steal it, they're going to figure it out. Just let it happen. Why do I need the 3-digit code every time?
It wasn't too long ago that someone was actively trying to hack into my PayPal. And I did have a fair amount of money in there. And I'm watching the request come through my email. And so, the first thing I do is I click like the from. I'm like, oh, that's actually from PayPal. And then I get a text message with the code, and I go, "Oh, you little fucker! Like you're close, And I went in there and changed it. I was like, "Hey, you almost got my money."
I had that not long ago. I had someone submitting requests for car insurance to all these different companies, and finally, because at first I was like, "Oh, that's weird." I thought it was just like a random one. Then they kept popping up, and I was like, "Oh, someone's actively submitting my information." And so I answered a call from Allstate, sales guy, all happy, and I go, "Hey, what are the cars for?" He told me, like, of course, of course, this person owns those 2 types of cars.
Nissan Altima.
It was something like that, and a Dodge Dakota. It's like
a Dakota. Yeah, that's white trash for sure.
Yeah, I was like, of course, that's the type of person that's doing this.
Yeah.
And I go, hey man,
Durango.
It was a Dakota, and the other one was, man, I wish I remember. It was some stupid off one. So I told the guy, like, hey man, just let you know that's me, someone scamming me, trying to. Can you just put it out there in your insurance world that that's a scam? Because if you tell one it's a scam, it flags to all the other insurance companies. So sure enough, it stopped after that with Allstate. But I was like, oh, look at that. Someone out there trying to do something.
Yeah, shout out to all the criminals taken from, working class people.
It's like, everyone thinks their information can't be found. It's like someone already has your information. It's just, when is it your turn? That's it. They've got millions of people's, and eventually they just reach your name going down the list. And are you going to stop them? That's all.
To make it slightly political too, because I like to do this from time to time, just check in. The other day, I was educating Abby on Edward Snowden's shit and, like everything he released.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. I was telling her about it, and she's like, oh, yeah, I had no idea that went down. And then we down a little bit of a rabbit hole about why I feel like Obama's like one of the biggest pieces of shit of a president that we've ever had. And that's just because of, like information these days. Don't get me wrong. Having slaves and being a sitting president is probably up there on a shitty thing a human being could do. Different times, am I right? And so, a
lot of shit done, though.
Huh?
They get a lot of shit done though. Back in the day.
Yeah. That's the take you want to take there?
Like you said, different times, man.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, different times. For sure. Yeah, like the Patriot Act, and I don't know, all that Pegasus bullshit, but
the Patriot Act was a fucked one. Like, call it the Patriot Act too. Be like, this is America.
It's not even a Trojan horse. It's just a red, white, and blue dildo. It's not even close to a Trojan horse.
And it doesn't even look like a regular dildo. It's just the fist with the middle finger.
Yeah. It's just the painted fire hydrant that kind of resembles an arm. Where you're like, where's that supposed to go?
It's so big that they're like, it will hurt. Like, you just look at it and you're like, that'll hurt.
Yeah. 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 So I don't know. That was a pretty cool thing. I don't remember what the tangent. Oh, yeah. When you're thinking about like trying to find people's information, it's like, it's kind of comforting to know anytime the government wants to come and get me. I mean, there's
I
Nothing
remember
I could do.
with my dad, it was like he was like, I don't want my stuff online and da 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 and that. And I go, hey, you want to know something funny? He goes, what? And I go, "Dude, there's your address, your party affiliation. There's the last address. Remember, we lived in that house. Remember that? I go, that one. He's like, how is that all online? And I go, everything's online. Remember, you bought this house, public record now. Everything's here. You know. Well, how do I get rid of it? You don't got enough money to do
Yeah.
that. That's you don't get rid of it.
That is, I mean, that's the truth, and that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
If you don't want to be on the internet, you have to know a lot about the internet to not be on there.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny too that there's probably some 16-year-old kid that's like, oh yeah, I'll create this code. Boop, 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 gone. Wipe the internet of it. They're like, unfortunately, the internet's pretty big, so it's going to take probably 3 minutes instead of 15 seconds. So yeah, there you go.
I wonder, this is something I could check in on my niece on. I wonder if like being nerdy is cool again because of technology and like information. Because I feel like when we were coming up, I feel like it was kind of like kind of cool to be nerdy, but it started phasing out where it's like you really cared more about being cool.
Of course, that's why we have Silicon Valley. That's why we have technology, like what it is. I remember there's a about Google. It was talking about like how it's literally talks about how all these like huge companies and the nerds are fighting back type of situation, and the Google founders specifically, they were like, oh yeah, they were huge nerds or whatever, and they started like fighting back against a lot of the people that started bullying them. When they would do their big company presentations, because they were one of the earliest tech companies to kind of blow up, of course, and they would walk in with two like hot models on either side of them. Just to be like, we won type of like. There's a whole, I forgot what the documentary was. It was on Netflix, but it was like, oh yeah, like that was definitely the big thing for sure. Might still be, but it definitely feels like a lot of people are like, bring bullying back. They went a little too far with the winning, and now they're becoming the bullies for sure.
Yeah, I mean, a strong case to be made against like, oh, why should you bully? But nature's pretty cruel. If you just totally buffer yourself from nature, it's like learn. I mean, either way, you're gonna want to kill yourself or you become funny. Like that's kind of the out, right? You either get muscles, you get funny, or slip into acting. I don't know, but trauma does good. Trauma does good.
Yeah,
Take a nice bath.
It just became bullying without a face. That's all they were able to do. South Park made a whole episode about it, which is a great episode.
When we were at Red Rocks, I think Mike and I were talking about producing or something like that, and I was like, oh yeah, no, like don't get it twisted. Like these DJs that are really phenomenal producers, like look at Of the Trees, right? Classic nerd. Tell me that's not somebody you pick on in high school. It makes the nastiest drip, drop, beat, boop, blop music that you can handle. Because like if you watch them, how they make bleep bloop music, it's pretty fucking technical if it's really good.
The most dangerous nerds though are the redneck nerds. They're the ones that go, you ever blew up something with bleach and a carrot?
If you take some aluminum foil, crush it into a ball, some Coca-Cola, and bleach, you'll have ammonia hydroxide. All right.
Those are if a soldier shows up wearing black glasses, you're fucked. So you're done. All right. Give it up. He's already got you. All right. I mean, a great example too, you're talking about DJs. Excision, he's from deep south, I think Alabama. And a lot of people don't know. I mean, that's a redneck nerd right there for sure. And he was like, you know what my fucking vision's going to be? Dinosaurs. We're going to blast them. How many goddamn lasers can we give these people?
Dude, I was at a show. This guy next to me, we started talking about nonsense or whatever. At a certain point, I'm just spouting off dumb shit. At a certain point, he goes, dude, I'm actually really glad I met you. Can I get your information? Like, I know we're talking about fucking nonsense, but you talk about my kind of nonsense. I was like, yeah, sure, dude. You know, I'm just talking about like make trap cool again or bring back my RL grime era. Like, I want Tatiana shaking ass music with like really heavy drops. I'm trying to describe my ideal vision to him, and apparently that resonated with him. Anyway, we start getting into like naming off. Who would you consider to be like your Hall of Fame DJ, EDM people or whatever? And after careful consideration, I was like, not a DJ I'd listen to all the time, but if I had to give like my goat of EDM, I think I would probably go with Skrillex. He's like, really? And I was like, again, not someone I'd listen to regularly, not even infrequently, but like thinking about someone that really set the scene for the type of music that I like. Seeing him live, I'm always a giant fan. Just overall, like, is Michael Jordan my number one? No, but will I give him the GOAT? Probably, yeah. You know?
Is it a DJ like I guess a great base for that too is like if they're playing live at a festival with multiple artists, is that someone you're going to really miss? Or like you're going to skip everyone else to get to that person? Like anytime they're playing,
Yeah.
like I don't care. And that was actually happened with at Ultra. Tyler had never seen Skrillex, ironically. And there was some big art. I mean, Above and Beyond was playing during that time, which is another one usually try not to miss. But I was like, Skrillex, though. You're like, that's always a guaranteed.
Yeah.
Changing stuff up. Also, they don't. It's not the same set. Like it's not the same sound the entire set. He changes it up. It's awesome. Yeah, I'd definitely put him up there with that too. You know,
I know I wrestled with it for a second, but the whole reason I'm telling this parable is to get to the point of when I ask him, so who would your number one be? Because we're also watching Mersive, you know, who I called the great value bass nectar, or I don't know. I don't remember what exactly I said, like off brand bass nectar, whatever the fuck, you know? And sure as shit, he goes, it's definitely bass nectar. And I go, really? Your number one would be a pedo? And he clicked on his phone and he had like Michael Jordan. I swear to God, having this conversation, he had his number one idols as his phone background screen. He had like Michael Jordan, the bass nectar symbol. I don't know, whatever. I kind of like lost focus once I saw the bass nectar symbol. And I was like, huh. He goes, you got to separate the art from the artist. I'm like, he couldn't separate himself from young girls, huh? I mean, it was just, I was like, I get it. Yeah, I love bass nectar. Man, did he really fuck us all over with being a weirdo. You know?
No, I was one of the funniest jokes I think to do is when you're at something that's totally not dubstep. I saw you doing that. I was like, that's funny as fuck. You just go, is this bass nectar? Like what? They quickly get the chunk like, oh, that's yeah, I thought you're like, yeah, bitch, I got you.
Yeah,
that's one of the funniest jokes I like to do. That's just a random. Like we were at Dead Mouse, and the people would say, and I just leaned in. I was like, "Is this bass nectar?" It's just burst out like it's just a thing.
And the whole reason I started doing that is because I think it was Luke and I were at Bonnaroo watching, or no, it was Austin and I or Luke, one of the two. Watched the whole fucking set. And we're like, man, that was really good. I mean, it's not really what we thought bass nectar would play, but that was a really good set. And this guy in front of us turns around and goes, do you think that was fucking bass nectar? Yeah. He's like, that was Borgor. Close, but it's not bass nectar. And basically, this is bass nectar. I was like, oh, okay.
Is it He's like, I'm in an Armin van Buren. It's so good.
STS9 for the 10th time. Space Nectar.
Wow. The encore comes out. Yeah.
Fucking Blue Man Group in Vegas. This is the new Bass Nectar show.
Got a band now. Oh. Shit. He's no longer Bass Nectar. He's Nectar.
Start doing it to other shows like a Chris Angel Mind Freak show or something. Space Action.
You have a family member giving a speech. Yeah. Change it up, huh?
Get a traffic ticket and someone's getting charged with a felony in front of you. Space Action.
The cop comes up. Sir, are you boy, what?
You get served papers outside your house. Am I base section?
Mailman comes back. I see you every day. Are you based? You wake up, you're tripping, you look in the mirror. Am I based?
You prop yourself up on the bathroom counter, you stare into the mirror. Am I base section?
Oh, damn, I am ugly.
Shit, that's funny, dude. Yeah. That mean I'm super excited to take your brother EDC too, because I'm curious, what little, because every festival you go to, every like show or whatever, you like pick up a little thing, right? You got like the polished ones that you go back to, whether it's the fucking base sector shit or mayonnaise, whatever the fuck. Like we go to the bathroom and Tyler's like, I can't believe they got toilets in the Coke rooms. I was like, that one's funny.
That's a good one.
A guy next to me, I'm taking a piss, and he goes, nice watch. And I didn't even skip a beat. And I was like, dude, we had a freckle in the same spot. Can you believe it?
Oh. Oh, that's a good one.
I like the little quick whip. So I'm excited to see what your brother's picked up. I know he's got some in there.
We were doing the best part is I don't usually remember it, but we definitely were doing it a lot at Ultra, just talking about random shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Mike was asking us about the podcast and talking about Ultra or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, that's right. You're taking Tyler with you to Vegas." I was like, "Yeah, we traded in. We got a new model. It's the same brand, less miles,
less tormented."
Yeah, pretty sure the other one was a lemon. We had to keep taking it in, get it refurbished.
You got to get out of here. The warranty ran out on him.
I was like, it's just a liability at this point, honestly.
This guy is an asset. He can fix shit if we need to. Other one, wasted people.
I think I got all the therapy I could handle out of the older model. I think the new model, I need some real fixes in life.
Cheaper too. Last one, rent was going up every month. I didn't understand.
Doesn't backfire, doesn't back talk. It's a deal.
Doesn't shed as much hair either. I don't know what that.
The fucked up part is we were looking at the lineup, and so they put so many amazing artists on Sunday, and then I think it's
they wouldn't do that.
Tiesto. I think it's Tiesto's doing a sunrise set, and I was like, I'm not the kind of guy to be like, gotta see Tiesto, but I'm like, for a sunrise set, I feel like that'd be a great set.
I think that'd be a great set. We were actually basing a lot of people that we saw at Ultra based off the lineup at EDC. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, right? And even going forward, like we were talking about, we didn't see Subtronics because he was the earliest set on that Friday. Mm-hmm. And so we just missed that. And so I told Tyler, like, oh, let's do Subtronics, but also Tape B is playing in St. Pete on the same day.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was like, ooh, I don't know. And I was like, well, here's the thing. Subtronics is not playing at EDC Vegas, which is surprising. Mm-hmm. He's not playing at EDC Vegas, but Tape B is. And I was like, I guarantee y'all three will be going to Tape B. I was like, let's just go do Subtronics and see that one in Orlando.
Well, the fun thing is, because I might push back on the Tape B, because we've seen him twice now. And he's tour whoring so hard where he doesn't have a lot of time to make new music. So yeah. I'd be curious. I'd love to see him with more production, but I'd be curious if he's come out with more music. If he's come out with more music, changing it up. I'd probably like to see him. But also, Mike, Sammy, and Abby are going to the Grist Festival.
Ooh.
So what they're going to see there influences also what I potentially would want to see in Vegas, right? If there's an artist where I'm like, I'm not going to the fucking festival. We're going.
Yeah.
Like a weird one for me is Mike Posner. I hope he's not playing at the same time as someone like else that I really want to see, but I'd be like, fucking Mike Posner. You know, it's like when we saw like Red Hot Chili Peppers or Eminem, those kind of people. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to see Gucci Mane and Lil Dicky and who's the other one? Would be like Cardi B. We saw. I was like, fucking why not?
I never forget going to. I think it was like the third or fifth Okeechobee, one of those early days, and I saw. This is when Mike Posner was bigger than Post Malone.
Mm-hmm.
So it was during the day. We saw Post Malone and then Mike Posner, and right after that, and it was like the early sets at the festival. And it was so early in the day. Post Malone played at White Iverson twice. Nothing else. And then Mike Posner came on, and so it's just wild to think that long ago, like that up track since then.
Well, Mike Posner is cool too. I mean, I follow him on social media. I just love he's a real ass guy. You know,
his hiking saga was wild.
He talks about like the guy touching him too on the top of Mount Everest. You see him talk about that?
Yeah.
He's like, don't fucking touch me. And he's like, then I went back to admiring the view. Sometimes it's okay to tell people fuck off and just get back to your happy place.
Sometimes.
You know? Yeah, so I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of different artists. The whole point of that was that your brother flies in. He's under the impression we're leaving Thursday. I think he gets in at 12 o'clock here. And then we are driving straight to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that's going to look like. I know the ride-in is going to be kind of rough and tumble. Not stoked about that. You know what? I might have to move that flight up now that I'm thinking about it. That could be a real issue for me because then we have the sunrise set on Monday morning.
Are you leaving right after that?
No, I would like to get 3 or 4 hours of sleep because it's another 12-hour drive back, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm towing a trailer. I'm not driving mini. So it's like I have that, we have like a 30-foot behind my truck.
Yeah, more difficult to drive, surprisingly, than Mini Winnie.
Who would have fucking thought, you know? I mean, something about mini, it's like driving a boat, but you know where it's going.
You know where it's going. You know what the corner's cut. You know.
You damn sure do. You drove that bitch like you fucking stole it through them canyons, son. You would come off the mountains hauling ass. I would wake up and be like,
I think the walls are shaking. I was like, are we all right? Like, better than ever, buddy. Trust me.
Doing great.
Is the steering wheel shaking like that? She's giving me loving back. Don't worry about it.
Wake up, look over. How long's that check engine been on? Comes on, goes off every 10 minutes, last 2 hours. I don't know. I just
spit on it. It goes away pretty fast. So don't worry about it.
Shit, my bad. Put that duct tape right back there.
Well, that duct tape lasted 10 years this time. Oh yeah, you get over the mountains, you use the hell out of that downhill momentum.
So what do you say? You coming in October? Do you think we can pin you for an October trip?
Well, to Denver?
Here. Yeah.
Maybe.
Daily Bread. He's coming. Red Rocks.
He's coming. One day I will see you, Daily Bread.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, here's the deal. They're probably going to see Daily Bread at the Grizz. I mean, actually, I can almost guarantee it. I'll hold off if I can get like a soft commitment that Red Rocks is possible for you. Okay?
There's a lot that's supposed to happen between now and then. I can't even give a soft. That would be like a last minute, like, you know what? This is going to work out. Boom.
I don't like that. I don't like last minute commitments. I don't like that at all.
I might go by myself. In and out.
It's funny because I didn't used to fuck with Daily Bread that hard. And then at a certain point, I remember the day I texted you. I was like, dude, this is amazing. I listened to one of his mixes, I think, instead of one like just a pure standalone song or something. And he's got such a deep catalog of music. I went and played disc golf on Sunday, and some guy just passing by. I was like, "Was that Daily Bread?" Like, yeah, man, good ear. He just has a distinct sound. I just love his music.
That's what, yeah. I love his own sound. It's great.
Mhm.
I've wanted to as well. Like if you go to Skyscanner, the app,
Mhm.
they have an option on there where you can just put in anywhere, like the
Mhm.
date you want to go somewhere, put anywhere.
Yeah.
You can do the lowest fares.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's like $30-$40 round trip into a
Mhm.
specific city. And I've like thought about, wonder if there's like what concert goes on that night. Because if you time it right, you could fly in. Your only costs are your flight there, your Uber
Mhm.
to the concert location, food, if you know, food and drink are there. If you time it right, if you're seeing a late night show, it lets out at like 2 or 3 a.m. and then you have a 5 a.m. flight.
Mhm.
You could be back home by 10 a.m. the next day, and your
Yeah.
only travel costs were only the cheap flight. You could do like a Frontier. You have no luggage. What you
Just your
wear,
body.
what you're wearing to that concert.
Yeah, we talked about doing that for Vegas. Go get a nice dinner, go rage, do a show, do some
I'm back.
gambling, come home in the morning.
Yeah, that would be that's a Daily Bread opportunity.
Well, I find it amusing that I didn't used to love Daily Bread that much, and then through you, now I'm like, I really, really want to see him. Because Mike was asking me the other day, he's like, who would be like your top artist to see? I had to like look through a couple lineups and like some of the top DJs in the world, and I was like, oh, there's this one and that one or whatever. But I was like, Daily Bread's like, I really want to see him, man.
Yeah, yeah. Just also, I really want to see him because it's good music, but also like I really want to see him because he's always like right there when I can, but then I can't. It's just weird. I'm
It
like,
has been the carrot that's been dangled for you for a while.
so many times I'm like, and it usually happens because I'm not keeping up with his tour, right? So I have
Mhm.
plans, and then all of a sudden I get the message a week out or something, like, or someone will hit me up, hey, you want to go to Daily Bread? Yeah. Dang it, no, I can't. I'm actually flying to Kentucky to feed a goat. I already had it planned months ago.
Goats need love too. Goats are people too, okay?
People too, even the Mises.
Oh man. Well, all right. Hey, let's shut this thing down. Not because I don't love you, but because I'm in love with you. Hey, next week, I think depending on how the schedules and the stars align and whether or not I've been bathing my
You're
virgin
making a lot
moon for
of guest promises, and where's the guest? We keep
the guest is coming on whenever we want this week. So I'm wondering when that gets released.
So we're getting Zuckerberg. He's coming on this week.
We have our next 3 guests confirmed. So eat my
I'm
ass.
excited.
This isn't my fault.
Just letting you know what the people are telling me. That's all.
No one said that to you at all. Not even a single person.
All of our hippies out there just manifesting. Bring the guest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, manifest when there's a full moon. You show your full moon to the moon. Good things happen. All I was trying to work through out loud there is when that episode is going to be released. But whatever it is, you'll love it. She's an idol. You'll fall in love with her. If you love us, feel free to subscribe. Share this with someone you know, someone you love, maybe someone you don't. But don't stalk them or send them a glitter bomb.
Or do.
Follow me for more life tips. Hey, we love you guys. See ya.
Peace.